Hey, Jules Bliss Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those who are new, I know you can benefit. So I'm just checking in. Today was a really hard day. It was chaos. I don't know how it was for you. Today is Thursday? I can't even think what day it is. Thursday, May 9th, right? Yeah, May 9th. Anyway, it was a really weird day. Like at school, things were crazy. One little kid jumped off the top of the swings and broke his ankle, and they had to call an ambulance. And another little kid was having like an allergy or some attack. She said her heart was hurting, and they actually brought out a wheelchair for her. Some other kid threw up in his classroom. It was like left and right. Things were just going on that were just crazy. I was blessed with teacher appreciation, and my fourth graders gave me some lovely cards, which I shared on my Instagram. But just like in general, it was really sweet because one girl thanked me for helping her with her health issues. And man, she had them. She wasn't even by far my heaviest kid at all. But at 8 years old, she was already diagnosed with high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And her family needed support, and I was happy to be there for her, and it was really sweet that she mentioned that. Another little kid said that they felt that they had creativity and optimism in their heart because of how I taught them, and they felt they were going to be successful in life, and I loved all of that. There's another one who said, "Keep calm and love Miss McCants." That just made me giggle. It was really clever, and it was neat because they were all from last year. What they don't know is that I will not be here next year. And that part is really hard. So anyway, all these things were going on. And my husband and I got home pretty much around the same time. And we couldn't find Snowbell. And we were looking for Snowbell, and she didn't come in. And then finally my husband went out to say, "Snowbell, what's up?" And when she turned around, her entire eye was just torn. And it was bleeding, and it was just another nightmare. Another nightmare. Snowbell is so precious and beautiful, and she's only 11. And I don't know. People will immediately say, "Well, you guys have too many animals, and it's a pack mentality, and they attacked her, and what are you going to do?" And it was a bad day all around. I think it had something to do with that moon. People were bragging about that moon, and sometimes when the moon is too close to the earth, it pulls on its tides. I mean, that's why they call people lunatics, right? Because lunarly, when the moon is full, they tick. A lot of weird, crazy things happen on days like this. And, they used to say that to my mother. They used to say, "How many kids are you going to have? You guys have too many kids." Well, where was she supposed to stop? I was number 11. Was she supposed to stop before me? And these little kids needed homes, and we gave them to them. And maybe it would be irresponsible for us to continue to add kids. I'll accept that. But to, let some go. One time we did have one of our dogs go stay with my mother briefly, and that dog lost their mind. They were so depressed. They felt rejected. They felt that they'd been abandoned. They wondered where all their brothers and sisters were, and we had 9 dogs at the time. We lost 4 in this last year, just Poppy 2 weeks ago. And then little Fancy Pants, but she was 16, so, she died of old age, really. And then Freeway ended up having cancer, which is so common in humans, and sadly, because of the foods that we make in our animals. And Freeway was only like 10 or 11. And then Booty Butt, his name's Booty, but for those who love him, he had a big butt. Booty Butt ended up having a stroke. And I was so sorry for that, but he was probably about 14. So, by all accounts, these dogs are living a pretty good life, and all of them were rescued. Booty had been injured in Hurricane Katrina. He literally had a 4-inch gash on his head. His eye was blue. One of them didn't work. And he was starving when we got him. much like our horses who were starving. I don't know. It's all worth it for me. And God will just have to tell me if I made a bad choice and judgment. But what we're going to do, though, for sure, is rearrange the dog pens so that the big dogs are together and the little dogs are together. And then only when we're home with them will we let them play as a group. Because I do agree. But another part of it is that the animals aren't getting the exercise they deserve. First it was dark because of winter, and we've been so busy. And yeah, they do quick spurts of energy around the yard. But any animals that don't get proper energy, of course, become very aggressive. They can. And I think it's the same thing with the horses. The thing was, like 2 days ago, Susie had a cut on her foot. And of course, that was reminiscent of when City almost bled to death. When her foot was cut, thank God it was nowhere near that. We were able to just clean it and treat it. I don't know. I think when you have kids, there's a lot of problems too. I remember as a child, 3 of the kids had their arms broken all at the same time for different reasons. 3 of the children all had their chins cut open with stitches. Because of these dump trucks, those metal dump trucks they were playing with. Just one after another, they fell and crunched their chins. Vanessa knocked out both of her front teeth at the same time, and both of my front teeth were dead. I hit them on someone's knee, and they literally turned gray and dead until they fell out, like when I was in first grade. So, there's a lot of things even with human children, right? Yeah. Let alone illness and everything else. So my husband was so distraught too, because he's just like, hon, you don't even have a job and we don't even have money. It's not even about living paycheck to paycheck. Luckily, we don't even have credit cards, so we're not burdening ourselves that way, but we're not living paycheck to paycheck. We're living prayer to prayer. We're just living prayer to prayer. And it is scary that I only have 2 more paychecks before God has to intervene. But what I was telling my husband was that we never have extra, but we always have enough. By God's grace, we always seem to have enough. Because he was saying, we never get ahead. Just when I think I'm getting a little bit of money in the bank, something happens. And I'm like, you're so right. But praise God, when something happens, we have that little bit in the bank. Right? Anyway, I just wanted to share, and I'm always so grateful to be here and to share with you. And I would love to support you if you want to share where you're at in the comments, or at JulesBlessVegan at Gmail, or JulesBlessVegan at Yahoo. I'm available. I'm always praying for this community and appreciate your good thoughts for my family, whatever that looks like, right? Anyway, peace be with you and also with me. And if you like, join us if you haven't. And until we talk again, my friends, I'd like to say first, thank you to my urge jar, which is filling up. I made it through my day. A couple times I wanted to forfeit things. And then my friend had a fantastic post. And it said something like, giving into a setback. Oh, you know what? Give me a second because I actually want to read it. It's a worthwhile one. I reposted it, but I thought, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Because sometimes you do want to throw everything out when life gets hard. And I'm really good at being optimistic, but some days, like anyone else, I'm tired. I'm scared. I'm hurting. And today was sort of one of those days. I quickly helped Snowbell with her bloody eye and comforted her and got her in there. And we had to leave her at the hospital, and they're going to do surgery in the morning. And again, we don't even know where that grace is coming from. But when it was done, I was totally shaking once it was done. I'm always good in the moment. And then I was kind of a shaky wreck. And I was asking my husband where the keys are for the car. And he's like, they're in your hand. It was one of those things. Anyway, what this said was, giving up on a goal because of a setback is like slashing your... I have to laugh because it's so dang true. It's like slashing your other 3 tires because you got a flat. Giving up on a goal because of a setback is like slashing your other 3 tires because you got a flat. Right? What do you think of that? Love you, my friends. And until we talk again, be blessed.